Hey everybody, we're back for part two of Gary's Crockpot Seafood Stew. All right, so before I get to showing you all the final results, I want to talk to you about a couple things that um, I kind of slightly erred on. I mentioned this earlier, telling you I like to add potatoes, but as you can hopefully clearly see here, I realized it said with broccoli, carrots, corn, and red pepper. So I was going to add some of those extra ingredients to the recipe, the product, and so I decided I just eliminated that. Another thing, I had it out earlier. I don't know why I kind of somehow skipped it during the process because I was just winging it like everything I do. But I like using it's a frozen bag of it's called seasoning mix. It has a bunch of little chopped onions and like celery and peppers, red and green peppers or whatever. So I did include that into the recipe. I had it out when I was displaying everything. Somehow I kind of overlooked that when I was talking about it, but I did add a little bit of that, and I do like that because it's so cheap. And when you're a bachelor, it's nice to have frozen foods or canned foods because you know I don't always eat the best as far as fresh foods, but it can go to waste. And I get so busy, my brain's all over the place. So anyway, so I did mention this the Campbell's Kitchen Classics. I think earlier I called it Classic Kitchens, but I did not use that. So I'm going to put this down below just to just in all full disclosure. I chose not to use this because I realized I don't think I'd ever used that before, and I didn't want to ruin a product I already knew was successful. Um, I did not mention to you guys that I always add thyme to my recipe, but I did add it after the video was finalized. So I do love thyme. That's one thing I never like to do without. But anyway, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to kind of show you what the let me get my gloves because this is kind of hot here. This is how I like to eat it. I like it for it to be kind of chunky. I can use the liquid later uh, in other recipes, or I can add some to it. But I like my meals chunky. So with that being said, I'm going to try and lift up this tripod to give it a little bit of like a overhead aerial view, if you want to call it that per se. I don't want to put it over the crock pot because I don't want my phone to fall in there. But that's kind of what it's going to look like. I will say it probably turned out a little bit more liquidy than I normally do it, but I'm a little bit rusty. I'm not going to lie to you. But anyway, this recipe is spot on. I'm telling you, I have no doubt that this is going to taste tremendous, and I hope you kind of enjoyed this and kind of encouraged you to kind of experiment in the kitchen. That's what I've learned my whole life. Um, the French are very creative. I don't consider myself French. I consider myself an American, but I do have a lot of French influence in some of the cooking I do. So with that being said, that's a version of the seafood stew you can do. There's probably a bunch of ways you can add to it. That bag I showed you, I think it was just right here. It has a little bit of corn. Generally, my digestive system and corn does not agree a whole lot. I don't think there's a whole lot of corn in there, so I'll probably be okay. But there's many ways people can spice it up or add things to it, create their own version. But anyway, I do appreciate everybody tuning in and trying to, see what I do down here in Southwest Florida when I'm bored, or, maybe it gives you an idea or two, But this is definitely a better recipe when it's cold out. So just keep this in the back of your mind, and we'll be talking to you soon, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in.